What if I told you that right now, in this very moment, you are broadcasting? Not with a phone, not with a radio, but with your very being. You're emitting a signal, a signature that communicates your mood, your health, and your deepest self to the world around you, all without saying a single word. Some call this signal an aura, a luminous, colored energy field that surrounds every living thing. To others, it's a relic of ancient mysticism, a beautiful but baseless idea. For centuries, we've been captivated by this concept. Is it a window into the soul, a divine light, or is it simply a trick of the mind, a misinterpretation of subtle biological cues? Well, today we're not picking a side. We're exploring both. We're going to journey into the heart of spiritual tradition to understand the language of auras, and then we're going to step into the laboratory to ask a bold question. Is there any science to this invisible glow? Get ready to see yourself and the people around you in a whole new light. Let's decode the aura. To understand the aura, we first have to step back in time. The idea of a sacred glowing field isn't new. You see it in the halos of saints in Christian art, the radiant bodies of deities in Hindu scriptures, and in the esoteric teachings of theosophy, which truly popularized the concept in the Western world. In these traditions, the aura isn't just a pretty glow, it's a living part of us, an ethereal blueprint of our consciousness. It's believed to be composed of several layers, each connected to a different aspect of our being: the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. These layers are said to be powered by our life force energy, or prana or chi, flowing through energy centers known as chakras. But the most fascinating part? The colors. Believers say that the colors of an aura are a dynamic language, shifting with our thoughts, feelings, and health. So what do they mean? Let's do a quick colorpedia. Red. This is the color of the root chakra. It signifies passion, raw energy, strength, and vitality. But a murky or dark red might suggest anger, exhaustion, or stress. Orange. Tied to the sacral chakra, this is the color of creativity, joy, and emotional expression. A bright, clear orange suggests a healthy social and creative life. Yellow. This color radiates from the solar plexus chakra. It's all about intellect, personal power, and confidence. A brilliant yellow aura is the sign of a sharp, optimistic mind. Green, the color of the heart chakra. No surprise here, it represents healing, growth, compassion, and a deep connection to nature. A vibrant emerald green can indicate a natural healer. Blue. Connected to the throat chakra, blue is the color of communication, truth, and tranquility. A calm, royal blue aura suggests a person who is a clear and honest communicator. Indigo and violet. These are the colors of the third eye and crown chakras. They are linked to intuition, spiritual awareness, and a connection to higher consciousness. Seeing these colors strongly suggests a deeply intuitive or visionary person. So the spiritual perspective sees the aura as a vibrant, living X-ray of our soul. People who claim to see auras, often called clairvoyants, say they can perceive these fields to diagnose emotional and even physical ailments. But this brings us to a critical question. How do we know this is real? And that's where our journey takes a sharp turn, from the mystical to the measurable.
More carrots. Don't tear it. More carrots. Where's Garrett?
Vegetables. Vegetables.
Here come from the west side. The left side. The right brain.
All right, let's put on our lab coats. When scientists hear human energy field, they don't dismiss it entirely. They just look for it with different tools. And the first thing we have to address is the most common piece of evidence: Kirlian photography. You've seen these images, a glowing electric halo around a fingertip or a leaf. For decades, they were hailed as proof of the life force. But science has a much simpler explanation: the corona effect. It's a completely natural phenomenon where high-voltage electricity ionizes the gas, like the air, around an object. The aura in these photos is really just a map of moisture. A sweaty fingertip will produce a brighter aura than a dry one. It's cool, but it's not capturing your soul. So, is that it? Case closed? Not quite. Because while we may not have a mystical aura, our bodies do emit very real, measurable energy fields. First, let's talk about heat. Every single one of us is radiating infrared energy. We are literally glowing with heat, and we can see it with a thermal camera. This thermal aura changes based on your blood flow and metabolic rate. If you're exercising, you'll glow brighter. If you have an inflammation, that spot will be hotter. So, in a way, your thermal signature does reflect your physical state. Second, we have biophotons. This is where things get really amazing. Your body, your cells, literally emit light as a byproduct of metabolic processes. It's an incredibly faint glow, about 1,000 times less intense than what our naked eye can detect. Scientists are studying these biophoton emissions to see if they can be used to detect disease. So yes, you are a being of light, just a very, very faint one. And finally, there's the electromagnetic field. Your heart beats and your brain thinks using electrical impulses. Physics 101. Any electric current generates a magnetic field. The field produced by the heart is the most powerful one in the body, and it can be measured several feet away with modern magnetometers. This field literally broadcasts the rhythm of your heart out into the space around you. So, science can't find a multicolored soul-reflecting aura, but it has found a complex, interacting set of thermal, photonic, and electromagnetic fields that are a direct result of us being alive. So, we have two completely different stories, one of spiritual energy and one of biophysics. Are they incompatible, or are they just two different languages describing the same thing? Perhaps the true power of the aura lies not in its literal existence, but in its power as a metaphor. Think about it. When you say someone has a dark vibe or a sunny disposition, what are you really sensing? You're not seeing a black or yellow field. You're subconsciously reading hundreds of micro cues. Their posture, the tension in their shoulders, the cadence of their voice, the dilation of their pupils, maybe even their scent. Our brains are exquisitely designed to process this data and give us a gut feeling, an intuitive summary of that person's state. In this sense, the aura is a beautiful shorthand for emotional intelligence. The idea of cleansing your aura might not involve smudging with sage, but it could mean taking a walk in nature to calm your nervous system, meditating to lower your heart rate, or simply choosing to shift your mindset. These actions have real, measurable effects on your biology, on your thermal and electromagnetic output. When you choose to be positive, confident, and open, your body language changes. You stand taller, you make eye contact, you smile. You are, quite literally, projecting a different energy into the room, an energy that other people's highly sensitive brains will pick up on. You're changing your aura in a way that is both scientifically observable and spiritually meaningful. So, is the aura real? If you define it as a mystical, multicolored energy field visible only to a gifted few, the scientific evidence just isn't there. But if you see it as the sum total of how you show up in the world, the invisible signal broadcast by your physical health, your emotional state, and your mental focus, then the aura is very real indeed. It's the heat you radiate. It's the faint light of your cells. It's the electromagnetic field of your beating heart. And it's the powerful, undeniable vibe that you project through your presence. Maybe the spiritualists and the scientists have been looking at the same masterpiece all along, just from different angles. One sees the soul, the other sees the system. Ultimately, whether you call it an aura, a vibe, or your personal biofield, one thing is certain. You are more than just your physical body. You are a radiant being, constantly communicating with the world around you. And the beautiful part is, you have the power to change what you broadcast. So my question for you is, what color is your aura today? What energy are you sharing with the world?